Students from Chienkuo Technology University make bibs for physically challenged children. City University and City University of Science and Technology hold Buddha Day ceremonies. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. In the United States, city volunteers attended the National Volunteer Organization's Active in Disaster Conference held in Providence, Rhode Island. In the conference, the eco-friendly blankets made by recycled PET bottles had won the 2018 Innovative Program of the Year award.
The reason we're here is to foster a good relationship with other disaster relief organizations in the peacetime. So when disaster actually happens, we already have a strong network. We can better to serve the people who are in need.
Recycled plastic bottles can be turned into fabrics, which are then made into clothing and into blankets. It takes about 70 recycled plastic bottles to make one blanket. And the Buddhist Tzu Chi Foundation distributes these blankets not only to disaster survivors, but people in need around the world. Please welcome the Buddhist Tzu Chi Foundation to the stage to accept their award for Innovative Program of the Year.
We are very grateful through the innovation, through the blankets, keep the vulnerable population in warm. Also keep our National Void movement, all the partners together. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We are very, very grateful and excited. All these years, all the efforts has been recognized and supported. This Innovation Award is the recognition and acknowledgement of Master's philosophy, turn the trash into gold.
In Taiwan, some commercial design students from Chienkuo Technology University collected scrap fabrics and handmade them into waterproof bibs and other useful items. They then gave these products to the physically challenged children at a nearby center. The students stated that helping the children made them feel very happy. The student agilely sews the lengthened bib, which is attached to waterproof cloth. For physically challenged children, these are convenient to use.
As he scoops the food could easily fall out. This bib can be used repeatedly as we can wash it.
6 commercial design students from Chienkuo Technology University have made the bibs in addition to diaper pads and throw pillows for the physically challenged children. They have gotten scraps of fabric from fabric stores and relatives, as the product design is based on patchwork quilt.
As a tradition, parents ask their relatives and friends for some scraps of fabric to make patchwork clothing for their children. It is imbued with the meaning that the children have gathered the blessings of numerous families.
They give me bags of fabric. It is hard work for me to carry them back as they are very heavy.
The students collect scraps of fabric from different places, and their end products are colorful and practical.
Seeing how happy they are, we are also very happy. I also hope there will be more opportunities for us to serve the society.
For these students, helping the nursing home residents not only allows them to practice their creativity, but also give of themselves. 10 years after the汶川earthquake, do not forget about the 108 Luohan children. During the earthquake, due to the extensive damages to the local hospitals, the medical professionals and local survivors took shelter at a temple. During the disaster relief period, 108 babies were born in the temple, giving them the title of Luohan children. Luohan Temple opened its doors to anyone that was in need, and after 10 years, the story has been turned into a movie.
12th of May, the Luohan Temple in Sichuan turned into a makeshift hospital and a meditation area into the labor and delivery rooms for the public.
我叫唐正文。
My name is Tang Zhengwen, and I was born on May 13, 2008, which happens to be the day after the汶川earthquake.
汶川的大地震。
At the time when the earthquake happened, there wasn't much space to keep the patients safe. We were very limited in our resources.
My mother told me that I wasn't born at a hospital.
On the day after earthquake, we had about 20 pregnant mothers. One of them was still on the operating table.
I was born in the Buddhist temple.
In any temple, it is a sacred place. It's clean, so any type of blood or stains are not allowed or tolerated in these areas.
Dharma Master Su Quan broke the long-standing Buddhist traditional rules to save mothers at that time.
Problem was presented right in front of him.
We embraced the opportunity to give great love to all the pregnant mothers and their newborns. The temple was filled with the needed medical personnel.
The Dharma Master said that we needed to help those who are in need at the present moment. We cannot just sit aside and do nothing, no regrets in our lives.
It's a taboo to give birth to a child in a temple, especially that we are all monks here. But at the time, it was a national crisis, and I feel that in true Buddhist teaching, the biggest taboo would have been to not save humanity when you have the power to do so.
The maternity ward at the hospital is a very joyful place, but it was very hard to overcome the rule breaking of the temple's many years sacred moments. It's a daily struggle for many of the monks residing there.
There were no proper equipment nor beds for the pregnant women residing at the temple. We didn't really have a full-on operation room nor complete sterilized environments at that time. There was no power. We had to use flashlights. We had barely anything. But for 3 months, we helped give birth to a total of 108 children at the temple. They were then referred to as the Luohan children.
When my mother was giving birth to me, it must have been a struggle.
I remember the scariest thing was the fact that I was already given the anesthesia for the C-section, but then one of the nurses said, "Oh wait, no, there are 2 flies here." I was panicking, thinking that I was going to be contaminated with some kind of disease. When I heard the baby cry for the first time, I was like, whoa, I didn't die, I'm still alive.
This was my handprints from when I was 1 year old. This photo was when I was playing with the Buddha beads of Dharma Master Su Quan. My favorite picture is the one where I'm making a pouty face.
When the earthquake happened, a whole bunch of people came rushing into the temple. There were also a lot of medical professionals. At this moment, everyone was equal. We were all human, going through the same experiences.
After May 12th, everything changed. You can really start to understand what unconditional love is. If you have the abilities to help others, then you should do it immediately. It's a powerful feeling. In Taiwan,慈济University and慈济University of Science and Technology held separate Buddha Day ceremonies on May 16th. At the two schools, the teachers and students seized the opportunity to pay tribute to the Buddha while praying for a world free of disasters. At the Buddha Day ceremony held by慈济University of Science and Technology, 2,400 participants formed the human formation of the number 52 to celebrate慈济's 52nd anniversary. Among the participants are students from the classes for seniors. Despite the heat, they seized the opportunity to pay respect to the Buddha.
We take actions to express our respect for the Buddha and also feel inspired. The event brings me peace of mind. If more activities like this can be held in different places, the society will become more harmonious.
At慈济University, teachers and students also joined the Buddha Day ceremony. The MC is a student from Malaysia who has practiced repeatedly, hoping to express her gratitude through her voice.
I feel a bit nervous as it is my first time being an MC. However, when I saw people participating in the Buddha Day ceremony, I feel they were able to calm their minds. Attending the ceremony reminds us to make good vows and do good deeds.
With pure minds, the participants attend the ceremony to pay tribute to the Buddha while praying for a world free of disasters. At the Buddha Day ceremony in Singapore, 3,200 people took on human formation duties. Among the participants was an entrepreneur who invited 32 of his employees to the event. In addition, other participants joined with their friends.
Businessman Yang Hua brings his employees to attend the annual Buddha Day ceremony. He also joins to form the symbolic formations.
Just now you stand in many inside. Yeah. So what's your feeling?
Peaceful.
Today we celebrate Mother's Day, Buddha's Day, and Global Tzu-chi Day. I bring them here to give them and their families as well as the world blessings. I also bring them to do recycling and ask them to read Jingsa aphorisms every morning. I can see their changes as they have more kindness and less jealousy in their hearts.
Ko Kim invites many of her friends to come to the ceremony together.
That day I met some volunteers at the market and I saw Tzu-chi's Buddha Day ceremony poster. I was very happy, so I want to learn more about Tzu-chi, hence I seized the chance to come today.
I was very touched, especially during the Buddha's chanting. I was about to cry because I feel as if the Buddha is here in front of me. It's my first time getting this bamboo coin bank, and I think it's a great cause to put in some coins to do good things.
The solemn Buddha Day ceremony gathers everyone's goodness in heart and motivates everyone to carry out good deeds.
Tzu-chi South Africa chapter hosted Buddha Day ceremony with 300 people gathering to express their sincerity. The ambassador from Taipei Liaison Office in the RSA and many overseas Chinese all came to this event to experience the beauty of harmony.
To match the local culture, Tzu-chi South Africa chapter set up many stands under the blue tents on the lawn outside the office to promote a vegetarian diet. It's almost like a winter carnival. While the vibe outside is cheerful, inside the ceremony venue, the opening is solemn and formal. There are about 300 people participating in the ceremony, including Dharma masters, ambassadors from the Taipei Liaison Office, and many overseas Chinese groups.
Take your time calmly to cleanse your body and heart. Just like doing recycling, we should wash it clean.
There's a person who has a mobility problem and needs to volunteer to hold on to her, but still insists to come to the ceremony. There are also parents who regard the Buddha Day ceremony a major event in life and dress up the child promptly. There are also a group of volunteers traveling all the way from Zimbabwe to Joburg, South Africa, to pay tribute to the Buddha while also learning from the experience.
To love each other through the whole world. Right now, we are from Zimbabwe to South Africa to join our families, brothers and sisters, to do same sharing of mother's love.
James Alexander, who works in a Taiwanese corporation, is a solid believer of Buddhism. Under his Western appearance, he keeps in mind the essential meaning of Buddha's teachings.
We must remember that we all have a Buddhist spirit within us, so we must try hard to find it. Every time I worship the Buddha, I always remind myself of that. I must continue to cultivate myself so that I can be someone that is similar to the Buddha.
Walking around formation, it's a symbolic act of cleaning the waste and keeping only the pure essence in the heart.
Tzu Jordan chapter hosted a Buddha Day ceremony with 80 participants and 60 of them are Syrian refugees. Let's see how these children use paintings to express their sincere hearts.
Volunteers are picking up the flowers for the Buddha Day ceremony from their own garden. Tzu Jordan chapter hosts the Buddha Day ceremony, and 80% of the participants are Syrian refugees. Volunteers respect the local religion, hence they changed the ritual of washing mother's feet to washing her hands. Children also wash hands for volunteers. The children express their love on painting.
Master Chen Yan, they love you so much. The picture is filled with hearts.
May 1st this year marks the 5th anniversary of Tzu Chi taking care of these Syrian refugees in Jordan. The Buddha Day ceremony shows that they've already become a family.
Hotong used to be a coal mining area in northern Taiwan. It fell into decline after the industry left. In 2009, a group of cat lovers turned the area into a cat village. The area also illustrates the attitude of Taiwanese people toward abandoning pets on the streets. According to some volunteers who care for strays, the survival rate is less than 20%. They urge the public not to abandon their cats, and it's crucial to find their new owner if they cannot take care of them.
In the eyes of Aki, Ahua is the flower of Hotong.
Why do you like Ahua? It's the smartest cat here and it's also very pretty.
Ahua only recognizes Aki, who is the only one who can pick it up, showing the strong bond between the two. After the mining industry left, this bustling community of Hotong fell into disrepair. While there are no monkeys here anymore, there are now many cats in this community, with volunteers caring for them night and day. For example, Aki, an ethnic Chinese from South Korea, came here in 2013 to find a cat abandoned by his neighbor.
At that time, Hotong wasn't developed like it is now. All aspects of environmental hygiene are much worse than they are now. When I came, the cats were thin and listless.
With the generous input of volunteers, the cats in this community became properly looked after. The wet and rainy weather here has led volunteers to build waterproof and windproof housing for the cats.
This is the third or fourth generation of cat houses. You can see it is convenient for them to enter. When this piece comes down, it is very warm inside.
Hotong's image as a community has been turned around because of the cats.
Originally, most of the business had already left. Now the biggest change is these cats who have attracted tourists.
The owner of a local coffee shop also adopted a local stray cat.
I raised one since it was young. It was only about a month old when it fell into a drainage ditch at a museum. One of the sanitation workers found it, and after saving it, I adopted it.
After the implementation of an adoption and sterilization program, Hotong's stray cat population has come under control. However, some shops worry that fewer stray cats will affect tourism.
Doing sterilization means they won't give birth. I think the attractive cats should be able to reproduce. Do the pretty cats bring business? Yes, of course they do. The tourists want to come and see the cats.
There's no shortage of cats in Hotong because early on, it was a place where people abandoned cats.
Most of them are old cats. Maybe they got married or need to move and then they decide to abandon their cats. Everyone who comes here sees the cats are fed and well cared for. This makes them think it's a good place to have their cats, but domestic cats are much different than street cats.
When abandoned cats come here, they may panic, as local cats will reject them, making it hard for them to live here. When they see people or even cats, they will hide and eventually they will die.
With only a 20% survival rate for abandoned cats, volunteers keep a careful tab and roster of these cats, even have shifts where they send these cats to other cities and counties for sterilization or veterinary treatment.
She's called Matchmaker. She has come here before for parasites and other pests. This is a routine check because she has a bad appetite and spirit.
Hotong has many cats because people discarded pets here, so it began to develop feline AIDS or leukemia. Hotong was originally a paradise for cats, but later people brought these cats here, and this area began to develop diseases. This is a man-made problem.
A number of people who volunteered to care for these cats actually took them home to look after them. But this isn't an effective long-term solution to the problem.
On the internet, some say it's a very serious sin to discard a cat that you have looked after for many years. But I think there should be a better channel or mechanism to solve this problem.
How many volunteers must be mobilized to overcome these problems created by a handful of people? How do we regain the trust of cats that have been let down and abandoned by their owners? Here in Hotong, a group of volunteers are working very hard to help stray cats who have had to overcome a great deal of adversity and pain.
In Fujian and Guangdong of China, city volunteers held events for children to express their filial piety for their parents. In the events, many children performed feet-washing ceremony and tea ceremony for their mothers for the first time. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.